Last ticket in the ticketing system, guys. This is very important to know because obviously I cannot work any more of these videos unless there are tickets submitted. I will put a ticket link in the first comment to this system where you can submit tickets. I'm going to wait 1 week and see what happens. If there are less than like if there has to be at least 5 tickets submitted in there. If there are not 5 tickets in there, then I don't know when the next time I'm going to, or if I'm ever going to make any more of these. I probably will, but it may not be until like months and months later. So again, I've stated these reasons why. I'm just being honest here. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to something else. Updating my password manager from Michael. Thank you, Michael. Hello. I have a question regarding my Bitwarden password manager on my laptop. So that's another password manager. I've never heard of it, but it doesn't matter. They all should function kind of similarly. It's running Windows 11 Home Edition. Oh, you've lost me there, buddy. I haven't used Windows 11 yet, but that's okay. I'm going to use my knowledge and personal experience and try to help you as much as I can. And that's all you can do as tech support. When the apps open, and when the app opens up to its login screen, I constantly get a message to update it to the latest version. Well, here's an example of Windows 11 being too early to use Windows 11. No offense, Michael, I'm just saying. This is why I haven't installed it on my computer, nor is my company, nor is a lot of companies, nor are a lot of companies using Windows 11 yet. After updating, the message still pops up for information for me. It's time to update again. You know, that's it's failing to update to the current version. That's okay. I will show you how to do a clean install. And when trying to figure out what the problem is, I opened the Windows App Store to check for updates there. Oh, here we go. See, this is, I suspect that it is because Windows App Store is notorious for failing not to, install and update things properly. That's when I realized there are two versions of there it is. Bitwarden on my laptop. Here's what I found. Here's version 1, 13.1, 1.3, 31.3. I'm just going to say that. And version 33. One is 64-bit and looks like the other one is 32-bit. Could you give me an insight of what possibly happened and what is potential security risk I have opened, if I have been open to, if any? Well, you kind of take a chance when it comes to risk and you're installing third-party software and apps. You kind of take a chance every time you do that, especially when you install something on your computer. And in order to install it, chances are you have to give it administrator privileges. Now, this is on Microsoft Windows App Store, right? This is on there. So you would assume that it's safe. So I wouldn't worry about security too much. However, there are two versions, and that's another story. What we need to do is do a clean install so you can update this properly. Here it is. Restart to update. Version 1.33 is ready to install. You must restart the applications. Here's what I'm going to do, tell you. Go in, and I'm going to go to add remove programs, but go to Windows first. Windows, here it is, Store. And I don't know if mine is enabled. I don't like to use this for those reasons because it's not good in my opinion. In my humble opinion, it's not good. It's not gonna work for me because, well, maybe it is. So go in here, and this thing is called, what's it called again? Bitwarden. 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 So you can see that this was created by somebody else, not by Microsoft, right? And here it is. This app does not currently support Windows 10 S. I don't know what the hell that means. What is Windows 10 S? So chances are it doesn't support Windows 11 either. But here is Bitwarden, and it's created by 8-Bit Solutions LLC. That's not Microsoft Windows. And it's okay if you used it before, probably, and this is that. I'm not knocking you. I'm not making fun of you or anything like that. But this is how you do a clean install. Go in here, and the one that you have selected to install, make sure you deselect it and remove it. Okay, make sure this, and then it should uninstall. But if not, go to add remove software, and in here look for it, Bitwarden. It's not on here, but once you find it on here, make sure you uninstall it. Okay, and then look for traces of where it has gone. Usually you would find traces of software installed in System32 in program files. So look for Bitwarden in here in program files or System32. And depending which one you have, I think you said you have the first one, which is the 64-bit, right? If you have the 64-bit one, okay, so whichever you have, if you have this first one, the first one is 64-bit, then it's going to be in regular program files, which is the first one. If you have the 32-bit, it's going to be in this one. Okay, you can have traces left of this program in program data. Look for it in there. If you find it after you uninstall it, after you delete it, after you remove it, there's a chance there's going to be a folder left there. Delete it. Microsoft does store apps in a specific location as well. And I forget exactly what that is. I think it's in program data, but it's probably going to be under users. Here's the one I'm logged in as. So go to your local profile. Say mine is users, Koboman. So whatever yours is. So users, whatever yours is. And then go to app data, local. And here it is, Microsoft. I'm pretty sure it's in here where it installs. Here it is, Windows apps. Yeah, so kind of look in here, find it, and delete it. Look for any traces of it. The reason I'm doing this is because chances are it's failing to update because there is a corrupted version of something that it cannot overwrite, usually related to administrative privileges or elevated privileges that will allow you to install and make modifications to your profile. Now, if it's under your local profile that you already logged in, it's not going to be an issue because it's not going to ask you for admin to install anything under your local profile. However, it's if it's installed in either of these two, then it's going to need admin privileges. Okay. After you do that, after you delete any traces of it that you find, go to the internet and find the correct version and download it from there. Bitwarden. Bitwarden, make sure it's the same one. I don't have time to double check this. Here it is, Bitwarden open source password manager. Make sure it's from the same company if that's what you want. Make sure it's the exact same one and then download it from there. Create a free account. See, I'm not here. It says it supports Windows 11, so this might be a different version, maybe even newer version. See, there it is, Bitwarden installer 1.33, and then you can install this one. I'm not going to install it because I don't know, and then you can run it as administrator. This will ensure that it will overwrite any old files that are installed. So this is very important. A lot of times you will have software fail to install correctly, then you think it's installed correctly but it doesn't run. They can't update because it doesn't have elevated privileges, and you're going to have to run it as administrator. If you can't see this option to run it as admin, hold shift, right click, run as different user, and then put in admin privileges. That should fix it. It does say here that it supports Windows 11. Why it didn't say that over there, I don't know. But it does definitely seem like this is the current version, 1.33.0, which is 32-bit, supposedly. Okay, I would say, hello, please remove Bitwarden and any traces of it on your computer, folders, files, and etc. Now, when you do this, it's going to, of course, it's going to get rid of your passwords, just so you know. It's going to get rid of your passwords if you delete all of this. Unless they do it somehow where you use your account or something like that. I personally don't trust a third party to host my passwords. I don't trust anybody to host my passwords. I'll show you how I do it as the last part of this video. And then go to Google and search for so you can download the most current version. Use admin. I'm going to say install.exe as admin. I hope that helps. I'm going to close this ticket. So there are no more tickets. There are no more tickets. Do I have any? Okay, I forgot to close these. These are the ones we did from before. Nobody responded to these, so I'm just going to close them real quick. All the tickets are gone, guys. All the tickets are gone. These people that there's nothing to follow up because they haven't responded. 0 tickets in the system right now. So therefore, there's not going to be a video unless there are tickets to work. And as promised, I'm going to talk about this is what I do for my password. For example, here is my, I don't know, website password. And let's say my website password is literally gibberish, right? Let's say that's my website password. Website login. My login. Okay, I'm going to save this as. Save as. I'm going to put it on desktop for now. Doesn't matter. I'm going to say website. I'm just going to call it a website. I'm going to keep it, you know, intentionally a little vague, but you can be specific. So I'm going to close it, right? It's closed. And here's my password inside of this document. It's website.txt. I'm not going to leave it here so that anybody who might hack, there's a small chance, very, very tiny chance that somebody's going to hack my website. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create an archive and I'm going to add a password to it. And I'm going to lock it. Well, I'm not going to lock it. I'm going to add a password to it. I forget how I did this before. General. Here it is. Set password. I'm sorry. Here it is. I'm going to set a password to something that's really hard to remember, okay? And I'm the only one who could possibly know this. And you have to remember it. Do not write this password somewhere. I mean, you can write it for now until you remember it, right? You can write it now so you can remember it. All right, so you can look at it a few times and remember. But then later on, get rid of that written piece of paper that you wrote it on and make sure you remember it in your mind. Nowhere else. And make sure it's super difficult and as long as possible. That means combinations of letters, icons, not icons, I'm sorry, special characters, capital letters, numbers, this and that. Okay? And now I have this website saved and I can't view it until I put the password in, right? Until I put the password in. Now here, let me make this a little bit easier. So here's my file. Now don't name your file the same as your login. You know, here it's locked. Now I can't view it, but if I put in my password, now I can see it. Okay, you can also do it where you can't open the archive at all. That's how I actually have it set up. I forget exactly how I did it, but this will get you started. And so you can't open this archive at all unless you put a password in. And then you can keep adding all of your, so you do the same thing for other stuff. For example, I don't know, I'm going to call this one Facebook. Oh, what the heck. Facebook. I forgot I had that file extensions enabled. So I'm going to say Facebook. This one is just called Facebook, and I'm just going to type in my login ID for Facebook. I'm going to call it, I don't know, my Facebook login. And then Automatically, I'll know that this is password, so I'm going to type in just password, whatever it is. Okay, I'm going to save it. Okay, and here it is. So I'm going to drag it into there. So now they're both in here saved and locked.